Hey, hey, what's going on, my people? What's going on? How you guys' day going? How's your night going? And how's your evening going? It's Ash Black here, Black Ralphie, here to give my analysis and review on Newcastle United versus Manchester City. And I'm gonna be honest, this was more on Man City being clinical and Newcastle not scoring their chances. I don't think this is a case of Man City defense being so great that they were able to stop, they were able to shut down Newcastle. No, I think Newcastle shot themselves in the foot. I think Newcastle messed up not being able to score the chances they had, right? Not being able to, reward themselves of all that build up play, all that defense, all that ball winning that they were doing throughout the whole game, throughout the whole 90 minutes of football, and not being able to reward themselves with a goal. Man City had a goal disallowed, which gave Newcastle more opportunities and more chances to equalize this game or at least score two goals or score a winning game. You know what I mean? Equalize the game or beat Man City 2-1. But no, they failed to be clinical. And that's what Man City did. Man City was very clinical. I looked at the lineup of this and I said, okay, Man City defense is lacking a bit. They have a 20-year-old kid pairing up with Kushinov in a center back pairing. You have Matthew Nunes as a fullback and Ake as a fullback. They are all right fullbacks. With Nico O'Reilly playing as a DM. And obviously, you look at the attacking firepower that Man City had, and I said, for every goal Man City might concede, they should be able to score two goals, at least 2-1. That's what I thought when I saw the lineup. I li- I saw the lineup of Newcastle, and I said, okay, Newcastle lineup is looking good. Young Whistle striking, Jacob Murphy, he didn't play on the weekend. Started out Aaron Gordon, Lewis Hall. Dan Bunn is injured, so Buttman is right there. Midfield, as always, Bruno G, Jolinton. But I was just saying, like, okay, Newcastle is gonna be physical, right? You're gonna have to be physical. You're gonna play bully ball, right? Who's your physicality to win the ball? Because we know that you're not the Newcastle midfield is not technically as good as Man City midfield, but at least physically they can outdo them. They have the energy. I mean, this Newcastle team beat Man City a couple weeks ago, like what, last month or 2 months ago. So it is possible. And I've said it's like Newcastle have the tools to win. Newcastle have the tools to win this game. They have an opportunity to beat Man City and go back to the finals. Retain, go back to back winning this trophy, in my opinion. First, first 5 minutes, you on whistle. What were you doing, bro? How could you miss that? Around the fifth minute, Eric Gordon played a long ball to Jacob Murphy. Jacob Murphy running down his wing, crosses the ball to Whistle. Whistle traps the ball. Okay, first touch, and he just shots it sky high into the crowd. I'm scratching my head like, you think the fans at your home wants the ball? No, bro. They want the ball in the back of the net. Christmas is over, my guy. Nobody wants the ball. Put the ball in the back of the net. They want the W. Newcastle has early has in the game could have been one goal up. After that, it was just a back and forth game. Couple nothing memorable except that one chance that Whistle had. Newcastle did not have a shot on target after that, didn't have a big chance, and neither did Man City. But what I did notice that in the first half, Man City will give the ball to Doku. Doku will beat his man, cross the ball inside the box, but Haaland will be late to tap the ball in, and no other Man City player is in the box to tap the ball in. So it's like, okay, all right, there we go. Boys just going right past in front of Nick Pope to the other end of the pitch. Sometimes for a corner kick and sometimes a throw in for Newcastle. Oh well. Newcastle was also doing a little bit of damage, in my opinion. They were giving the ball to Jacob Murphy, right? Let him cross the ball in, and I felt like Trafford would do a good job punching the ball out or catching the ball. I think Kushner did a good job. I think that 20-year-old center back, Alain or however you say his name, I think he was very solid. He played the whole 90 minutes, so I think he deserves a shout out for playing the whole 90 minutes and being very solid. Though I say this once again, Newcastle, there was Newcastle stopping themselves than Man City defense stopping Newcastle because they had a couple chances to score even the second half. Anyone watching this video who watches the game will understand exactly what I'm trying to say. They had chances to score. Game first half was done nil-nil, goalless 0-0. Quite a bit boring of a first half. Second half came, and like I said, if Newcastle do not take their chance to score, it will be a problem, bro. Johan Whistle once again had a chance to score. Nice header, but I will give credit to Trafford saving that, bro. It was a lovely cross to Johan Whistle. He headed the ball in, and Trafford was able to punch the ball out. Just a couple inches of that ball just being inside the net. It was a lovely save by Trafford. And right after that moment, Doku got the ball, beat his man, played a low cross, and what they know? Semenyo, bro. Semenyo taps the ball in, is Man City one goal up for Man City. And I have to give a shout out to Semenyo, bro. This is back-to-back games he scored goals for Man City right now. This is so impressive for Semenyo, bro. So now Man City don't have to rely on Haaland trying to score nowadays, bro. Because in the first half of the season, it was all about Haaland just being the guy to score the goals for Man City. But now you have Semenyo coming in there, playing a guy who can play right wing, left wing, can shoot and pass with his right foot, can shoot and pass with his left foot, has thick thighs. I mean, have you seen his thighs? That shit is like a ham cock, bro. Like a turkey leg, bro. I'm like, damn. So strong, so quick, dribbling ability up there. He can sprint. I mean, he can also track back and give that defensive contributions that Man City would need, which he did. Great job with okay defense. Couple fouls here and there on Lewis Hall. Finally, Young Whistle came off and Baltimore came on. And I'm sure that if you're a Newcastle fan, you're gonna be beating your head like scratching your head like what's going on here? Because you had the tools to beat Man City. I would say like there was a couple saves that Nick Pope made that Man City could have been 2 goals up. Couple saves that Trafford was making. Nice clearances by New Man City defense. The goal was disallowed for Man City. Semenyo scored a second goal, by the way. That was a nice corner taken by Tijani Reinders, I think it was. Semenyo, right place, right time, taps the ball in once again. But unfortunately, there was a goal disallowed because they said that either Haaland was impeding a player from a defender for clearing the ball out, or his foot was past the offside, was 1 inches past the offside line. But I'll tell you this much: it took way too long for VAR and the ref to rule this goal and off a disallowed goal. Took way too long. I'm like, what's taking so long, bro? Like, you might as well just give it. It was just a couple inches off. But either way, it was a goal disallowed, which means that Newcastle had an opportunity to equalize this game. Baltimore, they had two chances, bro. I know Baltimore is not a out and out striker. He's more of a link up striker, but you are in the box. Chest the ball, one, two touches, shoot the ball. Because when you're taking so many touches, you're taking so many touches, it allows Kushinov to close up on you. It allow Ake, Nuri, Rodri. It allowed the Man City defensive players to close up on you and close up the space you need to shoot the ball. And that's what happened. 9 minutes at a time. I'm fine with that. Obviously, the game, they were given 9 minutes at a time, which makes sense because of the whole VAR disallowed goal. It took way too long, man. Trust me. I would not be surprised if the added time was actually 12 minutes. It was a lovely cross by Aaron Gordon that Baltimore could have just headed the ball in. Baltimore could have headed the ball in, but just a couple inches he missed it. Could not get his head onto the ball, so he went out for a goal kick, I believe. And the next thing you know, Semenyo, Cherokee, and Reinders, I think, I'm sorry, Nuri had beautiful ball movement right there. Just one touch passes to each other. And Nuri give the ball to Cherokee in the middle of the box. And next thing you know, it's two goals up, bro. Ryan Cherokee, bro. I keep saying that guy is gonna be he has what it takes to be a world class player. I thought that Man City will find a hard time finding a player like KDB, but they found a guy so quick, bro. They found a player like KDB so quick. Ryan Chucky is that guy. He's amazing. Sometimes he can be a bit lazy, but his creativity, his chance creations, and him just knowing how to shoot with his right foot and left foot is a bigger upside than his downside. Now Man City's two goes up and it's game over. Now here's the thing: can Newcastle come back in the second leg and try to overcome a two-goal deficit? Because Man City just have to score one goal at the Etihad, bro. And even so, Man City might even just go crazy and just try to score more goals. I feel like Newcastle have what it takes to compete with the big dogs in the Premier League, possibly in the Champions League as well. But they have to find a way to be clinical because that's what this game comes down to. It comes down to who is clinical, and in this case, Man City was clinical. I think Man City defense wasn't that extraordinary in my opinion. I don't think they shut down Newcastle offense. I think Newcastle shut themselves down. They had a lot of chances to score. Bruno G had a chance to score. It hit the woodwork. Like Newcastle got to find a way to be clinical. Young Whistle was bad. Other than the couple two chances he missed, he was horrible, bro. Misplaced passes, just not being there in time for the crossing. But it is what it is, right? Tomorrow we're gonna be looking at Arsenal versus Chelsea, and I tell you this much, man. Oh my goodness, I don't know. As a Chelsea fan, I am shook. But I do have hope and I do have confidence. Anyway, please guys, I appreciate if you can like and subscribe. Tell me who you guys think was the man of the match. I think Trafford from Man City was the man of the match for me. Made some amazing saves in my opinion. And you guys tell me what you think went wrong for Newcastle and what went right for Man City. All right, guys. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.